And here we go. Hello there, everyone. Again, welcome to the Canada Lake Park. On this side, again, is your Wyson, your Polish Wyson. And now we are going to build something, I think, really exciting, something new for our Canada Lake Park, because this time we are starting another section for our beautiful project, being the Lagoon section that I really wanted to build for a longer time actually. I was planning that for a longer time because I really like aquatic creatures in this game, and sadly I didn't have in the past so much chances to use them in my park because I also couldn't find any suitable place where they could be put in, and I was afraid that the limitations for those animals that sadly are in this game are going to broke my imagination of those beautiful creatures, but not this time. And this time we are starting another lagoon aquatic, just like you want to call it, section for our park. And by speaking about starting actually, at the beginning of this episode, you could see me that those two lagoons are actually already placed. I had this idea on the second chance because I thought for myself, yes, I'm going to start recording, go to this place, to this section of the Canada challenge mode map, and record everything. But after a longer time just fiddling around with the lagoons, I recognized that this section that I planned for the lagoons is not as big as I thought before, and the lagoons itself are opposite. They are so much bigger than I thought before. And now I'm really happy that another section of the map, the smaller one, is for the aviaries, because in my opinion, there is actually no comparison in the size between the lagoons in this game and the aviary. Lagoons are just humongous, especially even those one section. And if I could remember, this one section isn't even enough for the creature, for any of the creatures, even for the ichthyosaurs that have relatively small requirements. But yeah, so that's where the problems from the start. First, I planned this section that will be fully aquatic. Probably I was thinking about adding a star of the show. I was thinking about the megalodon, actually, the Otodus megalodon, actually. That's the full name for the creature. Because megalodon is just I can't say this in English because I have no idea how it is going to be called, but that's the second name, let's say. Just like the Rex in Tyrannosaurus Rex, but you get the idea. But when I placed the first lagoon and tried to make some interesting shape, make it a little bit bigger because I had a certain idea in mind. Also, again, we are building one of my favorite plazas in this park because I love building plazas. Wasting space in this game is one of the most important rules to make your sandbox parks look more interesting. But yeah, I just have a lot of fun with building such a guest sections, the plazas, especially near the lagoon. I think that the main idea behind this episode came from one of the previous episodes. Sadly I forgot. I think that was the T-Rex habitat. I talked about the plaza with the view of the pteranodons or the lagoon. I thought that lagoon is the better way to interpret that into the park, to make it work, make it look interesting, and obviously practical, because I'm going just a little bit for the realism. But when I saw that working with the place in this section, it was not very it was not very kind for me, okay? Many those I think I think you probably heard once this one really famous, actually, one of the most famous words in Polish abroad, one of our curse words. And yeah, those, let's call them chickens, happened many times before I even started recording this project. But here we go. I finally found some places where we can put our lagoons. And in this episode, in the first lagoon, we are adding the bigger lagoon with the view in front of the plaza for our tortoises, our beautiful Archelons, the turtles added with prehistoric marine species pack. My God, it was so long time ago that I really I forgot how that's the pack was called. Oh my God, it was a quite a long time. Because yeah, Jurassic World Evolution 2 have gone a very long path. Those 2 years of exciting updates and new DLCs was a very interesting journey, I think, for every single player, for the content creators, and also for the private players. I was just my eyes were growing bigger and bigger when I was looking at especially the first big updates that were coming to the game, and after one of my favorite packs that could be Prehistoric Marine Species pack. I was quite happy seeing new aquatic species, especially Dunkleosteus and Notosaurus, and also the Archelon and Shonisaurus. All of those species were welcome for me, because I really would like to add something new, and especially the last pack, the Megalodon that was added. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome, so that's quite sad that it's actually over, but there is also a good part. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is coming for us. Sadly, I also forgot at what time, but still, again, I'm just running away from the build, talking about the past, talking about the present and the future, and just running from my build. And let's go back to it. You can see I placed those rock platforms. I can tell it turned out to be a very big herd of turtles, actually. The very big herd that could just roam freely around this lagoon, because I think you remember that this project is going to be quite ethical. I want to keep the enclosures quite big, and the entirety of the park should be, especially the capacity, the area that animals are roaming, even the groups, even the number of the certain species of the individuals of the species in the one enclosure, because I really don't like the view of very overcrowded enclosures in this game. And also in every single creative game, it's not looking very good. And if I really would like to add those gargantuous, those big Hadrosaurus or sauropods, especially sauropods herds that were in, I think, every single documentary. I remember till this day those massive herd of Diplodocus in the Ballad of the Big Owl in Walking with Dinosaurs. And yeah, such amount of species would get a lot of space in the park, actually, to keep it quite ethical, especially the enclosure, the feeding, the resting area, and also the shelter. It will took the biggest section of the park, so to keep it quite realistic and ethical, adding just a little bit of small dinosaurs. I'm not even talking about the Stegosaurus, but it could also be a very good addition. But mostly I think about the Dryosaurus. Yes, Dryosaurus, the oak tree lizard, just how it's called, or the tree lizard. You can name it. Yeah, that would be looking actually really nice, and adding this little dinosaurs. But yeah, that's other project. That's something like a natural themed park that it's not coming for now. And going back for the build, because I said that I was really disappointed with the fact that I haven't got so much space, just like I thought, just like I was planning in my mind. This entire enclosure, I was thinking about the Megalodon, Mosasaurus, Tylosaurus actually, because using the same species over and over again, it's not very good. It could be good for your park, especially when you are playing challenge mode, because those species have unbelievable. Yeah. Oh my God, I cannot say English. Sorry, it's quite late actually now, and I cannot speak English. I would like to say that they have an unbelievable amount of the star points, or how is it called? Sorry, I'm a sandbox player. I keep forgetting, but I also took a little bit of time in challenge mode and in chaos theory mode, having a little bit of fun and understanding the game mechanics. But yeah, we have two lagoons that are going to stages. There is also a tip. If you are going to work with such things like lagoons, especially because they are huge, or the aviaries, put them first. Just make the idea in your mind. Make a sketch. It could be a simple drawing in paint, just to give you an idea what you are going to build. Or if you would like, you can also just think about it, have this mind-blowing idea, and just build just like you go. I can say that's a very good strategy, but it's very dangerous. It is very good because I'm using it actually in this park. Before I started, there was no plan for the park. The first episode was just inspired, just like I said in this episode, from the entrance built by the Caesar Creates for the Sandbox Desert Park, actually. Sadly, I forgot, but it was a very interesting project, actually. He finished this park, and there is a tour on his channel, so if you haven't seen that, definitively go check it out, because the entrance was really good. I haven't seen the tour yet. I have to go and see. Ah, okay, we are going to have a cinema tonight, and that's good. And yeah, speaking of my I was speaking about my disappointment. And okay, we have laid down these lagoons for the Archelons. I don't know for now what is going to be in another one. It could be Notosaurus, it could be Ichthyosaurus. I don't know for sure right now, but I will get know in the future. If you got some ideas, actually, you can put that in the comment. And if you're just watching Jurassic Evolution 2 and you don't recognize species, just visit their official website. There is a full species of animals there, and you can write in the comments. I'm really open for your ideas because I know that this community is incredible with his ideas, and every time, at every hour, they are able to come to you and say really interesting fact, really interesting idea that is going to inspire you even to build the entire park. So yeah, this community is something big for me. I really appreciate that. But again, I just run from the build. Speaking of the build, we have two wagons, and where we cannot fit any more of the aquatic sea creatures, just as you would like to call it. There are going to be smaller exhibits for the dinosaurs live that lived in swampy areas. Actually, it could be Spinosaurus, but for now, don't get me wrong, Spinosaurus is actually a great species. But we have actually the star attraction being our Tyrannosaurus Rex. And bringing the Spinosaurus to the park, wouldn't be fitting, especially when the Spinosaurus is going to have a very small, not good looking enclosure, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex having its own included section. I was actually thinking about Baryonyx, which is actually, in my opinion, a good addition because it was found in United Kingdom, And we know from the history that Canada was actually in the Commonwealth with United Kingdom. Sadly, I'm not as good in the history to say that, but there were really close relations between the Canada and United Kingdom, because if you read history, you know what I'm talking about. It could be also Suchomimus, and I think really good addition would be Deinocheirus, one of the animals that in the last time actually is getting even pop even more popular and popular. The popularity is just growing instantly, and loads of people are loving this species, and I think it could be a really good addition for the park. Oh, another thing, why we cannot have Spinosaurus. We have Spinosaurus, not a skeleton. Yeah, okay. That maybe it's not so pleasing, but in Poland we say sometimes that, and now how to pronounce that a mushroom is better than nothing, because if you know Polish, you probably know what I'm even talking about right now, because there is a very clever sentence just to say you can have anything, but that's better to have anything than to have nothing on your pocket or something. But sadly I cannot tell you, because I really don't know how to say that. Because it's a genius of mushroom, and I don't know how it is called in English. Okay, again, going back to this bill that I'm still running away. This okay, you could see me starting from the beginning. You could see me that I play that there is this lagoon hatchery attached to the lagoon, this DFW hatchery, and there is a guest plaza in front of that. Probably it could be decorated in the future in the episode that everything is going to be tied up in at the end of the series. But this is going to be something like education section for the park, so our guests have a really good point. They have a really nice and modern center that they can learn a lot of things about the Archelon and overall prehistoric marine life that is sometimes even more beautiful and interesting than the land animals that were roaming the earth. But if you are here, if you love paleontology, you can tell that in the skies, in the water, or in the land, even today, after dinosaurs, before dinosaurs, and at the time of dinosaurs, the world was just incredible and beautiful, and that's why I love all of that. Okay, but this shorter episode is actually coming to an end. Now, I would like to say goodbye. Have a nice day, night, evening. I don't know what time where you are watching this video actually, and stick around for a while for the cinematics. Again, goodbye, my dear friend, and see you next time. Bye.